Some people just don't like their children. And unfortunately, it shows in the world. Some of the pain and the trauma that a lot of people endured as children in their household when they were young, they're pushing all that pain and anger on the world. Some parents have a lot of regret. They regret the timing of their children. They regret the person that they had children with. There's some people that feel like they never had the opportunity to live because they had to be a parent. And they feel like their life was cut off early. And they started to push all of that energy off on their children. It's no love. It's no connection. They just look at their children like an obligation, something they have to do. So you have to be careful and make sure that you take your time when you're thinking about creating life, because everyone don't have the same love, compassion, and empathy. One of the most painful things you will ever do is bring life into the world with someone that would just give you a hard time because they never respected you or genuinely had love for you. And honestly, they probably don't even have love for themselves. So they will never have the ability to have love for their children.
Now, this is something a lot of people don't want to talk about. Some parents carry so much regret about not having enough time for themselves, regret about the person they had children with, and they even regret, they even have some regrets about the life that they feel they missed out on. But the hardest part is they don't even love themselves, so they end up passing all of that hurt and trauma onto their kids. I personally grew up, hearing something that no child should ever have to hear. I love you, but I don't like you. And I heard that a lot. It became this thing that I thought was normal because it was directed at me so often. And you never think, that somebody is... I don't want to get too deep into that, but here's the thing. I don't remember them saying it to my brother or my cousins. I just never heard anybody else's parents say that. And so when you're a kid, that message just kind of sticks with you. You start to internalize it. You start to think that maybe there's something wrong with you. Like you're the problem. I kept hoping that maybe someone else would share this burden with me. That it wasn't just me, but... no, it was only me, and I carried that weight for so long. When parents don't like their children, whether they say it out loud or not, the kids can feel it, and it causes deep wounds. These are the kinds of wounds that show up in our adult lives, in our relationships, in the way we view ourselves. But as much as that hurts, it's important to talk about it, because a lot of kids grow up in homes where they're made to feel like they aren't enough, where they feel like they're more of a burden than a blessing. If you've ever heard words like that or felt like you weren't wanted, I want you to know you're not alone, and it wasn't your fault. Sometimes parents pass down their pain, and we're left to deal with it. But the good news is we don't have to keep carrying it. Talking about it, letting it out, and recognizing that it's not your responsibility to fix someone else's hurt, even if that someone is your parent, that's the first step to healing. So let's start that conversation. If you can relate, drop a comment below. We all deserve love, and it's time we learn to give it to ourselves, even when we didn't get it from the people who should have given it to us first. All right, so thank y'all for listening, and don't forget to, drop your comments below, and make sure that you subscribe so we can have more conversations like this if you can relate.